views of anybody in the royal family since his marriage have gone down the drain, really. You can't be nasty to Meghan. You have to let her have her way. Now, also, if she...
A lot of updates and rumors on what Meghan's working on, but I wanted to start here with this report because, yes, hard to deny, Prince Harry looks miserable.
I had the ring on my finger and I was like, can I give you the ring? And she goes, oh, yes, the ring. So, no, it was a really nice moment. It was just, for anybody, it's really sad that it's got to this point, but I've got to do something for my own mental health, for my wife's.
He plays, it seems. I think that he's actually realised the mess that he's gotten himself into, you know.
Mail in particular, which Prince Harry and Meghan Markle remain on a deranged campaign to shut down, to go there, is...
What did Queen Elizabeth really think of Meghan Markle? You might assume you already know the answer. The tabloid headlines wrote themselves...
Second chance at the private life they always wanted. But despite their escape, the world kept on telling and retelling
upbringings and their shelter from the storms of royal life and public opinion. The differences between the wives cement...
To the cameras, they walked towards the camera. Kate walked across to Meghan and engaged her in this kind of...
She pulls him away and gives him a look, and he leaves immediately. He's obviously scared. I think he's very frightened of...
Walked away happy. Harry and Meghan walked away happy, and now they're coming back and they're trying to change it. And I don't think that's fair.
Alone after fearing as ever was being held back by a cautious Netflix. Notice the spin. Let's keep reading.
Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, and Diana's grandmother, lady prison. They're not sued for anything, so she's not going to risk it. And also...
a barren bank balance and stop the financial rot. And so began Harry's clumsy campaign to...
...in our preparing a curtsy because Queen Elizabeth is about to arrive. And it really symbolises their happy...
Kind of a royal rule breaker. You should go check it out. She has been switching things up way more than Kate ever did, speaking out on political movements and wearing her hair in a messy bun, so...
The royal fairy tale has just been ripped apart because Angela Levin's alleged revelations about 17 disturbing wedding moments suggest Meghan's glittering ceremony concealed a crisis already consuming Prince Harry behind palace doors. The whole world watched Prince Harry and Meghan Markle exchange vows beneath immaculate flowers, dazzling cameras, and carefully polished smiles, believing they were witnessing the most romantic royal wedding of a generation. Yet, according to Angela Levin, the breathtaking spectacle concealed a far darker emotional story. Angela Levin had spent 15 months working closely with Prince Harry on an official biography, observing how Prince Harry laughed, spoke, worked, and behaved when the cameras were not shaping every movement. So when one of Harry's aides quietly intercepted her before a routine visit in 2017, the warning landed like a thunderbolt: do not mention Meghan. One question could allegedly make Harry withdraw, become angry, or abruptly end the meeting. The engagement had not even been publicly announced, yet people around him were apparently already walking on eggshells. Why would the woman supposedly bringing him happiness be treated like a subject capable of detonating the entire room? The contrast reportedly became impossible to ignore. Before Meghan entered the picture, Angela Levin remembered Prince Harry as warm, spontaneous, and magnetic, someone who could make strangers feel instantly important and whose compassion helped inspire the Invictus Games. But the man waiting inside those quarters appeared tense, resentful, and strangely diminished. The easy confidence was fading. The natural warmth seemed buried beneath anxiety. Nothing had been publicly confirmed, yet something behind the scenes already felt painfully wrong. Angela Levin believed she was watching a transformation in real time, and the most explosive clue was not a shouted argument or dramatic confession. It was Harry's silence. The prince, who once seemed completely comfortable in his own skin, now appeared frightened of saying the wrong thing before the wedding had even been announced. At first, the constant touching looked romantic. Meghan held Harry's hand, leaned against him, touched his arm, and remained physically close, creating an image of overwhelming affection. Yet Angela Levin claimed that the meaning of those gestures gradually changed. What looked tender reportedly became directional, a pat telling him when to move, a pull interrupting a conversation, a touch positioning him exactly where Meghan wanted him. Was it intimacy, or was affection becoming instruction? Angela Levin noticed that Meghan appeared determined to greet the most important person first and occupy the front position, while Harry increasingly followed without resisting.
His views of anybody in the royal family since his marriage have gone down the drain, really.
What followed in December 2017 at Nottingham allegedly made that private pattern frighteningly public. During Harry and Meghan's first official engagement together, dignitaries waited to welcome the newly engaged couple. The moment should have been effortless, but Angela Levin claimed Meghan moved ahead of Harry and physically displaced him so Meghan could receive the first greeting. When Harry remained mid-conversation, Meghan allegedly pulled him away and delivered a look that required no explanation. Harry followed immediately. No protest, no hesitation, not even a glance back. Angela Levin said her heart sank because the incident did not resemble a harmless mistake. It looked like an established system suddenly exposed before the cameras. Harry appeared surprised, but Harry still obeyed, and that quiet surrender reportedly revealed more than any public argument ever could. Then came the deeper incompatibility hiding beneath the smiles. Meghan Markle could later present royal life as an institution unwilling to accept Meghan, especially during the explosive conversation with Oprah Winfrey, but Angela Levin offered a completely different interpretation. Angela Levin argued that Meghan was not rejected for lacking intelligence, glamour, or charisma. Instead, Meghan allegedly rejected the very structure she had agreed to enter: protocol, hierarchy, duty, restraint, and the expectation that one sometimes supports rather than leads. Meghan wanted visibility. Meghan wanted the front position. Meghan wanted attention directed toward Meghan and inside a centuries-old institution where rank determined every entrance, greeting, and seat. That desire was not a minor personality clash. It was a collision waiting to happen.
She won't do anything political because she's so thin-skinned if somebody says something to her.
According to Levin, the palace offered enormous privilege, global visibility, and historic access. Yet Meghan appeared unwilling to accept the responsibilities attached to them. That alleged imbalance taking the platform while resisting the rules became the quiet scandal beneath the wedding's polished surface. And soon, one small royal box would turn that hidden resentment into an open palace confrontation, dragging Harry, Meghan, Angela Kelly, and Queen Elizabeth into a battle over a tiara that was never merely jewelry. The ceremony was approaching, the tension was rising, and behind those guarded palace doors, the fairy tale was beginning to crack. The tiara box became the next explosive clue. According to Angela Levin, Harry arrived without Meghan and casually poked at the historic case as if its contents carried no significance, provoking concern that reached Queen Elizabeth's personal dresser, Angela Kelly, and eventually Queen Elizabeth herself. The reported response was brutally simple. The tiara was not a toy. But the confrontation went deeper because Meghan had allegedly wanted an emerald headdress connected to the murky aftermath of the Russian Revolution. Its disputed history threatened precisely the kind of controversy a royal wedding should avoid, yet Levin claimed Meghan understood the danger and pushed for it anyway. The Queen refused, firmly and finally, turning a glittering accessory into another symbol of a much larger battle over boundaries, entitlement, and who would ultimately be obeyed. Then came the bridesmaid dresses. Catherine warned Meghan that Princess Charlotte's dress was excessively long, loose, and uncomfortable, reportedly leaving the little girl in tears. A simple alteration could have ended everything, yet the discussion allegedly erupted into a bitter confrontation. Catherine had recently given birth to Prince Louis and was emotionally exhausted. Meghan was under crushing wedding pressure. Both women reportedly cried. Eventually, all 6 dresses were altered, proving the practical concern could have been resolved from the beginning. But the damage deepened when Princess Charlotte was allegedly compared unfavorably with the daughter of Jessica Moroni. For Catherine, this was no longer about fabric. It was about a vulnerable child, and the disagreement became a personal fracture that reportedly remained inside the room long after the measurements were corrected. The warning surrounding Harry now appeared impossible to dismiss. Friends saw the anxiety. Palace aides noticed the transformation. Even Prince Philip reportedly urged caution about rushing into marriage with an actress, but Harry continued toward the ceremony with absolute certainty. Angela Levin later described not a partnership but a hierarchy, alleging that Meghan approved major decisions, influenced speeches, and directed public movements with touches and looks. Levin even claimed Harry had become terrified of conflict with Meghan, surrendering his instincts because resistance felt exhausting. The confident figure associated with the Invictus Games appeared, in this telling, increasingly dependent on permission. Before meeting Harry, Meghan Markle was best known through Suits, but royal marriage transformed Meghan into a global figure and delivered a wedding reportedly costing $32 million. Levin argued that gratitude never followed. Instead, after leaving, Harry and Meghan used their enormous platform to challenge the institution that created it. During the 2021 interview with Oprah Winfrey, Levin said she identified more than 30 claims she considered lies, accusations that helped construct a lucrative victim narrative and contributed to public recognition, including a human rights award. These remained Levin's judgments, but the palace silence made every unanswered allegation feel even louder. Queen Elizabeth was reportedly hurt by the departure, but not shocked. Angela Levin interpreted that reaction as evidence that the destination had been visible from the beginning. Royal life was allegedly a stepping stone, not the final dream. California promised independence, yet the empire soon began cracking. Spotify ended its arrangement after Meghan's podcast lasted one season. While a Netflix program failed to generate the expected attention and the original Netflix agreement was not renewed, audiences could do what palace employees could not. They could simply stop listening. Finally, Doria reportedly moved into the California household, and Harry leaned on Doria as a stabilizing presence. But Levin claimed constant conflict eventually drove Doria away, leaving Harry more isolated, homesick, and emotionally depleted. The wedding had promised liberation, glamour, and everlasting unity, yet Angela Levin's 17 alleged revelations painted something hauntingly different. A prince gradually separated from his confidence, his family, and perhaps even himself. The cameras captured the vows, but the details nobody noticed may still be revealing what truly began that day, and the final consequence may not have arrived yet.